Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Rafał Olszowski and I am pleased to present a multimedia lecture concerning the issues of tools for activation of local communities. This lecture is a part of the e-Government 2.0 in Practice project, implemented under the Erasmus Plus program. In this lecture we will look at the following issues. First, we will reminiscence what local communities are. Then, how their online activity can be described, taking account of their electronic participation level. The main body of the lecture will discuss selected IT applications that are examples of tools for simulating local communities. A local community is a collective that resides in a specific territory with defined limits. For example, a city, a village, a county, a district of a town, and shares common needs and interests. Members of local communities interact with one another and, to a lesser or greater extent, perceive mutual ties that result from common interests. Why is it important to stimulate them? Local communities are environments that are closely related to our private lives. They are space of our everyday work, family and social life and civic activity. The nature of interpersonal ties and the relations between citizens and institutions determines the internal integration of communities, which conditions common actions aimed at solving local problems. Let us also examine the difference between local community and territorial collective. In a well-integrated local community, there is a sense of community that results from neighbor relations, shared customs and values, and care for common goals. On the other hand, a territorial collective is a group of atomized individuals whose composition is fluid and changeable, which makes it even harder to establish social bonds. Such individuals exist next to one another and satisfy their needs in the same geographic area, but they do not have to feel bound, and most often they are not bound to and to each other. If a territorial collective fails to create a sense of community, it is dominated by business-like relationships, which degrades the quality of life. Thus, the task of local leaders, both local governments and non-governmental sector, should be to create conditions where the sense of community and responsibility for solving local problems could make members of the community to take action aimed at reaching common goals. The Internet becomes an increasingly important space for performing such actions. As we know, the spread of information technology has resulted in a new field for cooperation between public institutions and citizens. In the article entitled Reinventing Local Governments and the E-Government Initiative, the authors compare old bureaucratic patterns with new models that use ICT to show the change that local administration is ongoing. We see that processes are organized in an increasingly flexible and horizontal manner, and external communication becomes more and more direct, informal, multi-channel and focused on obtaining feedback faster. In order to ensure the possibility of such transformation, it is necessary both to prepare public institutions for cooperation with citizens and create an opportunity for citizens to use electronic channels effectively while cooperating with the administration. Thus, the sine qua non conditions for local level cooperation are not limited to public institutions using e-Government 2.0 tools, but they also include citizens who actively contribute to the creation of local community. They join initiatives and projects, they take part in performance of public tasks and co-decide in their efforts, In short, citizens who constitute an active local community. Hence, the commune and county authorities, the non-governmental organization and other entities active in local communities should use tools that stimulate citizens' activity, and their engagement produces valuable results. It is also worth pointing to the fact that electronic participation may be more effective in local communities than throughout the country, because it concerns affairs related to everyday life, which are thus practical and closer to a citizen. Local matters are easier to imagine and for an average citizen, which facilitates expressing opinion. As you already know from previous lectures, we assess the activity of citizens in eGov 2.0 project, taking the electronic participation level into account. The literature includes several attempts at describing the issue, which mainly refer to the concept of the so-called ladder of citizen participation. As we remember, the division proposed by Chang and Kanan in the study entitled Leveraging Web 2.0 in Government, prepared under the patronage of IBM's Center for the Business of Government, assumes that existence of electronic participation ladder. Let us recall briefly what are the parts of the pyramid. The lowest level is communication in the sense of information flow. What happens here between local administration and the members of local community is basically information exchange, primarily from the government to the citizens. Reverse communication is less abundant, but it is not used to carry out any specific public tasks. Such communication may take place through a dedicated website of the commune, county, city, district, or even a public library. What is more, we also include profiles of those institutions in social media, like Facebook or Twitter. Those electronic communication channels play an important role. They are not only a message board, but they also make it easier to access public information and facilitate searching for information related to work of the offices, of the city council, of district council, of mayor, of public cultural institution, etc. They also make it possible to access to open data and provide an opportunity to access public services in a more effective manner. Good information policy of institutions and transparency are the basis for gaining residents' and local authorities' trust, which is the first step to integrate the community and stimulate its activity. Later on, we will discuss some examples. The second level is interaction. Here, the relations between administration and the non-governmental involve consultations and provision of opinion concerning a local policy. This might be done both via a website or an application designed by specific government agencies, as well as apps implemented independently by NGOs for the sake of fulfillment of specific demand. The interaction associated with the gathering of opinions, ideas and projects, there are various types of surveys, polls and voting, which can be an important bond of the community. The highest level is cooperation, that is, common provision of services. Apart from information flow and consultations, this model involves use of ICT and Web 2.0 by non-governmental entities to cooperate with public administration in performing various types of public tasks or even direct involvement of citizens in decision-making process. Therefore, the first step to stimulate a local community is to change the manner of communication between local authorities and residents, of a commune, county or region. Apart from purely informational functions, local authorities provide citizens with an opportunity to interact and cooperate in specific fields. The first example on our list will be the redesign of the website of State College in Pennsylvania and the policy regarding the use of social media on the new website. The circumstances have been described in the article entitled Moving Towards Web 2.0 Enhanced E-Government in Small Town Pennsylvania. State College is a little academic town with a population slightly exceeding 40,000 people. It is governed by an elected council that includes 7 members, a mayor, and a professional manager contracted by the council to manage current affairs. The academic nature of the community makes it favorable towards extensive use of internet. It is the basic channel of communication for many residents. State College is a member of Alliance for Innovation, an association that includes a few tens of American towns and cities that implement innovative IT solutions at the local level. This group is a platform for exchange or experience and good practices, workshops and seminars that aim at transforming local public institutions and use new technology in the best way possible. Between January and April 2014, there was a survey concerning the town's policy aimed at stimulating citizens' activity using the website and Web 2.0 tools. It was performed by academics from the College of Information Sciences and Technology of the Pennsylvania State University, the one whose campus is located in State College, Professors Levey, Trout and Bagby. The survey took the form of structured interviews with town's employees and social organization leaders responsible for communication with residents, consultation and information technology. And the aim was to show new solutions that had been implemented since 2011 due to redesign of the website and integration with social media. The research team's approach took account of the Damodaran's socio-technical theory, which states that the effective implementation of e-government systems mean not only the implementation of the technology, but also complex activity at 3 levels: the technical, the organizational, and social level. Therefore, the study regarding the implementation paid attention to all the 3 areas. The first attempt at using Web 2.0 tools took place due to the fact that the city joined the Open City Hall project in 2010, which led to launching the Engage State College service. The Open City Hall project will be discussed later on, but this service had smaller reach than expected, but the town authorities treated it as a pilot project, and in this role it confirmed the need to develop tools for stimulating citizens' activity via the internet. Therefore, implementation of a new website that had been ordered by the IT section of the town and at the Civic Plus company, which specializes in providing online platforms for local governments, began in 2011. The solution provided by the company included Government Content Management System, Civic Ready, which facilitates crisis management, and Civic Send, which organizes communication with residents. The manner of implementing the new website also aimed at stimulating residents' activity in order to make them join its development. The section of the council responsible for information technology appointed a special committee whose task was to determine expectations and future functionalities of the new website. The committee consisted of individuals representing specific sections of the local government. Then, there was a survey concerning the prospective users' expectation, and questionnaires were addressed to the residents, businesses, and social organizations. Citizens, businesses, and NGOs' involvement in the redesign of the website was deemed a good way to make them interested in the subject. They were asked about the advantages and disadvantages of the old website and creative ideas for the appearance of the new one. An additional stimulus to take part in the survey was an iPad, which was reward for the most active participant. The redesigned website was launched in the summer 2012. Since then, the use of Web 2.0 has become an important part of State College's online policy. One of the town's administrative employees concluded this in the survey. We wanted to move into Web 2.0 and have a better use of community engagement features within the internet than we had with the old website. As a result, a variety of Web 2.0 tools, including Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn, work together to help achieve the stated objective for a new municipal portal. Web 2.0 enhanced government portals in a small community could signify a new phase in advancing municipal e-government because of social media potential to foment greater citizen participation. What are social media used in State College? The researchers selected the 4 most important applications. Emergency notification, interruptions in water supply, dangerous weather conditions. Citizen participation, reaching those residents who do not have time to go to meetings. Public safety, so the first information on accidents and crowdsourcing, gathering information about the crimes. And promotion of the official municipal website. So these are the 4 most important aims of using social media in State College. External social media integrated with the State College websites include the main Twitter account. It is used to provide residents with quick and brief information, primarily on maintenance work, changes related to parking, health alerts, as well as job offers from the local authorities, also cultural and educational events, and others. In late 2015, the number of followers exceeded 3,500. It is interesting that the Twitter account of State College Police Department enjoys greater interest. So it had over 7,000 followers. This Twitter profile primarily includes communication from the police, so information on crimes that have been committed. However, let us notice that the City Council Twitter account had more tweets than the police account, so 2,500 posts compared to 1,500. The primary social media platform used by the State College is Facebook. It is used not only as a place to publish updates, but also a tool for learning about people's opinions. Information on events related to the life of local community, changes to bus schedules, extracurricular activities for youth and children, road maintenance works, awards for members of the local community, missing people in the area, and others. These are the information mostly published in the Facebook account. For example, the information about engaged at college service and discussion was also provided, was also made in this Facebook account. Other social media platforms which are used to a lesser extent include YouTube. Apart from the videos prepared by the town, there are fragments of news broadcasts from TV channels that discuss the state college affairs. They also use LinkedIn and Google+. The challenges that arose due to the use of social media include primarily the need to react to residents' comments quickly. Delaying the response until the beginning of a workday is not welcome by the users. What is more, there is an issue of content moderation. How to deal with anonymous messages, how to deal with criticism, or how to deal with the inappropriate language. For that purpose, State College adopted a document concerning social media policy. The aims of using those media have been defined as two-way communication of ideas, a chance for municipal government to monitor and respond to hot topics, and open up government to encourage citizens' participation. So these are the aims of the social media policy in State College. All municipal government social media outlets represent moderated online discussion. So the moderator, approved by the manager of the city, would administer all official municipal social media sites. City reserves the right to remove any comment that does not comply with the posted guidelines. The following 9 categories of improper content have been identified in the policy. So it is profane language, content with that promotes, fosters or perpetuates any kind of discrimination, solicitations of commerce, confidential information of any kind, comments supporting or opposing political campaigns or ballot questions, links to or posts containing sexual or pornographic content, information that might compromise the safety and security of the public or public systems, content that may lead to encouragement of illegal activity, content that violates a legal ownership interest of any other party. To sum up a case of State College, let us refer to the local university research once more. Respondents of the research strongly suggested that social media should be treated as an alternative, not a replacement of any standard communications tool such email or telephone or any traditional contact. So the social media is important, but only as an alternative. In order to provide supplementary information on local websites that play primarily informational roles and at the same time involve citizens in affairs of their commune, city or region, we will take a look at British websites. They are an example of good practices due to the comprehensiveness of services that they offer, and as well as structure, which is focused on services that the town provides to residents. So they are user-oriented. And it's opposed to the old-fashioned websites, whose design reflected the structure of local government, so the structure of institutions. And now the current version of websites reflects the structure of services. And activity of public administration agencies is categorized thematically. So this allows the user to find information that may help them to solve the problem by defining it. London Borough of Enfield website is a good example. It is one of 32 boroughs of Greater London, which is situated in its northern part. The Anfield Council manages a website that is regarded as one of the best communication platforms among local governments in the UK. It is worth noticing that the website is constantly modified according to residents' preferences, based on their opinion and especially ergonomy and functionality of use. In late 2015, the website was under reconstruction that aimed at simplifying the manner of the content on the front page, less content in the front page, and additional emphasis on the most used tabs is supposed to make it more intuitive to navigate. During the reconstruction, it was possible to use parts of the old and parts of the new version. Each of the thematic section has links to relevant forms, documents, galleries and services. That allows the user to take advantage of the RSS feed. It is also possible to submit comments to each section separately in 3 categories: error to fix, content to correct, or positive feedback from the user. Each page on the website is accompanied by a speech synthesizer that allows the blind or partially sighted to use it. Specific sections have their own context menus that make it possible to perform various operations. Example of its use will be shown in a minute. In some cases, the context menu makes it possible to carry out tasks that exceed typical information functions and allow the citizen to undertake cooperation with local institutions. Registered users may take advantage of the Anfield Connected application, for example, to have discount coupons for use with local service providers, like car services, beauty salons, bars, restaurants and others. The aim of Anfield Connected is to support local entrepreneurship and encourage residents of the borough to use services provided by the businesses in the area. The user may access discount coupons that may be used at selected places. The website has an extensive thematic section related to job seeking. It makes it possible to access several databases that facilitate finding job offers. The website also provides information of individual stages of the recruitment process and make it easier to prepare for them. Also, the offers of temporary job for the borough are published here. And there is also an apprenticeship program that makes it possible to supplement one's qualifications. The website also has an extensive section on the borough's housing policy. It offers the following options: advice for people at risk of becoming homeless and with housing problems. Apart from much contact data, there is also online application entitled Anfield's Online Housing Advisor that allows the user to specify the expectations to get advice. Landlords who own property, they can take advantage also of advice, so they can also use the accreditation procedure carried out by the borough, which provides an opportunity to honor the best landlords. Homeowners may obtain information of various support for maintenance and expansion. They may also make an appointment with an advisor. Environment, waste and transport. These are detailed information that show not only the borough's policy and investment projects in these fields, but there is also a cleaning schedule and schedule of infrastructural works. Children, Youth and Education section. There is comprehensive information related to the school system, addresses, deadlines and rules of recruitment. There are also school funding principles, and the website also has an extensive section with advice for young people that makes it easier to contact selected sections of the local council. Spatial planning. Apart from the opportunity to become familiar with spatial development plans, communal estates to let, and information on building control, and conservation of historical buildings, the user also may use a context menu that allows them to search information on land charges, relevant planning documents, or report unauthorized building works. Adult social care. The context menu in the adult social care section makes it possible to fill in the forms that specifies the age 16, search for commercial care offers, report suspected abuse of person in unfavorable situation, or pay for the social care services. The other sections are health, that contains primarily health advice and contact data for medical facilities. Business, so the section related to business is dedicated mostly for the people who start their own business in Enfield. And safety and emergency planning, so there is a collection of information related to reporting crimes, preparing oneself for emergency, natural disaster, terrorist attacks. Also information how to protect oneself against crimes, and possibility to report cases of violence, disturbance of peace, devastation of walls through graffiti. And section of leisure, culture and tourism. The topics in these sections are connected with free time activities, culture, tourism. There is information on sport clubs, artistic events, museums, and etc. It also makes it easier to take advantage of public libraries by offering an opportunity to register with a library online, find the nearest library, search the catalogs and reserve books in all public libraries. Also download ebooks and audiobooks as a registered user. And all the options are available as a single on a single website, so integrated together all the libraries and possibilities in one website. Now take a look at Enfield's activity in social media. To be specific, these include Facebook, Twitter, and another one is Flickr. Enfield also has a YouTube account which facilitates to use the videos prepared by the borough. It is worth mentioning also that British public institutions, including Enfield, should follow the rules governing conduct of public servants in social media, included in relevant manual. The manual points to the fact that anything that has been published in social media becomes public information. So the actions taken by public servants require much care, but of course also there are indicated benefits from the presence of social media. Now let's take a look on multi-channel communication. Multi-channel communication is another feature of a local information policy that is worth pointing to and facilitates communication with residents. Subscription to updates on specific topics, news on actions taken by local public services, and posts on the message board available to residents are provided by multiple channels like email, SMS, so text messages, and others. And it will be illustrated by an example of town of Davidson in North Carolina, USA. So there is a website on town of Davidson, and you can choose the section Stay Connected. Also, there is on the website of Mecklenburg County, where the town is situated, and it has a local alert system. This makes it possible for authorities to use channels to inform residents on emergency alerts from local fire or police department, severe weather and health alerts that impact citizen, alerts to help find missing people who may be in danger, and community alerts including special events on traffic within the city. The registration procedure allows the user to define communication channels, select one or more locations which are to be subject of notifications, and indicate type of messages. Let us take a closer look at forms of two-way communication between local community members and public institutions that exceed pure exchange of information and are a certain form of cooperation for improved performance of public tasks. The simplest solutions include forms available on town or city websites. We have already shown forms for reporting cases of violence, disturbing of peace or devastation of the walls through graffiti on the Enfield website, and reporting general problems in Enfield, and reporting a problem with commercial wastes, and reporting problem with graffiti. Let us step outside official websites and take a look at initiatives launched by private institutions. Fix My Street is a website whose purpose is to allow residents report local problems. It is different from the forms on communal websites that we discussed above with regard to its range, which exceeds a specific territorial unit. The service covers many communities and various public services that are responsible for solving reporting problems. The website makes it easier for residents of various regions because its mechanism identifies the specific territorial units and services that the submission should be reported. Any person who registers with the website may become a user. What is more, implementations and maintenance of websites requires systematic cooperations with numerous institutions. The most frequent submissions concern potholes, broken street lamps, graffiti, damaged pavements, and similar. And the user can use the website by PC computer or by iPhone or Android application, so it's quite flexible, and there are plenty of methods to use it. What is more, due to its large scale, the user's activity is constantly stimulated. They may track reports from various towns, and what is particularly important, they can also see information on successful solutions to problems. They are informed on current progress of works and the type of intervention. Systematic updates on the solution to the problem is a great advantage of the websites and a powerful tool for involving local community members. They may feel satisfied with their contribution. Updates regarding communes that cooperate with the websites show how many issues could be solved in a specific place. Moreover, the website allows a larger number of people to work on solving a problem. New users may submit updates, describe new aspects of the problem, add photos, and propose solutions. Employees of institutions also use this channel of communication to present their point and to make it known that the problem has been solved. The openness and the relevance of communication as well as quick response from the participants facilitate users' involvement. There is an additional function, the integration of alerts concerning a specific location. It is enough to give a postcode to receive it. The Fix My Street website was online since 2007 and managed by the My Society NGO developing e-participation applications. And the website has become popular, so My Society helped to develop numerous twin applications, making the source code available as an open source basis. So we can see examples of applications from other countries, like Uganda in Africa, Australia, France, Ireland, Sweden or Malaysia. This is another distinctive feature of the website. It is developed more or less on the grassroots basis, not by public administration or institutions, but by a citizens' organization that involves individuals in cooperation with local administration, which boosts its credibility. Fix My Street also received several awards, so we can take a closer look about the awards that they received. And interesting way to simply use a mechanism similar to Fix My Street in the local community without implementation of our own version of the service is to use CrowdMap, application provided by the organization Ushahidi, that allows you to create your own maps and invite other users to their development. Nevertheless, it is necessary to determine how to deliver reports to relevant institutions. The popularity of Fix My Street gave rise to similar applications that use maps and geolocation tools, at the same time involving members of local communities in work for their benefit in many places around the world. Let us spend some time looking at the First to See application, developed primarily for smartphones, which has been implemented in Pierce County in the United States. The purpose of the application is to improve emergency information system, but not to replace the emergency phone number, just to serve as the additional channel of information. The first functionality level of the First to See website covers reporting emergency situations, accidents, natural disasters, crimes and similar. These are reported by the residents of the county. The second functionality level, which is available for the logging users, allow the community members to track changes in the area of intervention, see other submissions, share reports on Twitter, and report incidents in a trusted profile.
Introducing First to See, an app that gives you direct input into a revolutionary emergency support system. After you call 911, you can send text, pictures, even your location to an emergency support database. Your incident report can then be processed and evaluated along with other reports like yours, giving emergency responders a clearer picture of any evolving situation, and giving you the extraordinary power to help. When there's a flood or fallen tree, earthquake or accident, environmental hazard or suspicious package, when tragedy strikes, those with the power to help will be those who are first to see.
I'm first to see.
I'm first to see. I'm first to see.
I'm first to see. I'm first to see.
I'm first to see.
I'm first to see.
I'm first to see.
First to see. The power to help. First to see does not replace 911. In a life-threatening emergency, you should still call 911.
Let us stay with the applications that use maps and take a look at Commonplace, an application that makes possible to involve users in planning and providing opinions on urban space and public transport. As assumed by the authors, this British application may be used by various entities that deal with spatial planning, preparation of investment and infrastructural plans. The projects implemented using Commonplace are initiated by local authorities, but also by developers, condominiums, transport businesses, and organizations that work for the benefit of local communities. The project in Commonplace is an independent website where the limits of the area that is subjected of consultation is defined or depicted in the map. Then the registered users may submit their proposals by putting pins on the map and expressing their opinion according to the following scheme. So they first indicate a place, then specify the level of satisfaction with its current condition, depending on opinion. So the colors vary from red, that is bad opinion, through orange, that is average, and to green, that is good opinion. Also they indicate the expectations with regard to the future appearance of the place. The users pick option from a defined list, which makes it easier to prepare good reports from the consultation. And the users also can provide additional comments. There is a very interesting function, so the way the opinion is shown changes as the user zooms in and out. If they go to a more general view of the map, the opinion on the selected topics are zoomed. And the other way around, if we zoom in, we see more detailed information on user's opinion. We can also see opinions not by moving around the map, but by inspecting the history of comments. A huge advantage of the application is the possibility to produce detailed reports on users' activity and results of consultation. Commonplace is a very interesting tool that combines functions from the two upper levels of the electronic participation pyramid. It facilitates both interaction in the form of discussion, comments and consultations, and cooperation. Scattered opinions are compiled in the form of a report on the selected area, which makes it possible to define the most urgent types of problems and points on the map where the action is needed most. Other applications that use maps and makes it possible for citizens to work for the benefit of local communities are Street Bump, an application implemented by Boston Mayor's Office, and the primary objective was to collect information on the condition of the streets in the city. There is a mobile application, and Street Bump is based on cooperation of local governments with the drivers who use local road. The users turn on the application in the mobile phone while driving. The device registers all bumps, which are interpreted as potholes, rough surface, or other obstacles, and they are located on the map. When the journey has ended, the user sends the report to relevant institution. Another interesting example is Cycle Atlanta, so mobile application for cyclists. And the aim of the implementation is to collect information on the condition of cycling routes in Atlanta. So also the users, so the cyclists, turn the application on and registers the route. And it collects information on specific routes, on their condition, capacity, and others, and it is sent to city planners. The application uses, of course, GPS, so it makes possible for the users to register the routes in real time. And another interesting example is community historians. It's a community collaboration of the Historic Westside Cultural Arts Council and Georgia Institute of Technology to cultivate a shared community identity to support local civic engagement. Volunteers, the community historians, create an interactive map of neighborhood. So the places of heritage, memories, and others, and they make photos. Then they also record interviews using the smartphones and put it on the community map. Open Town Hall. Let us proceed to discuss an internet forum as a dedicated tool for dealing with affairs of local communities. The topic will be illustrated with an example of an application developed by the Peak Democracy Company, which has become a popular tool used by some town authorities in the US. The name of the forum is Open Town Hall, and it is an addition to towns' websites, where it is included as an external application in the software as a service formula. The service is supervised by Peak Democracy, while the town's authorities may manage the forum, propose topics for discussion, share results, collect and process information related to opinions. In late 2015, the service was the basis for 2,500 town fora with over 350,000 registered users. In order for a forum to be an effective tool for stimulation and not only a place of discussion, specific rules of participation had to be introduced. Let us take a look at them. The application provides opportunity to free discussion, but it requires identification of users, registration and agreement to follow the rules to ensure decent manners. Mechanism of the application find inappropriate phrases, personal attacks, or content that is irrelevant to a specific manner, which allows automatic moderation. What is more, each user may provide an opinion on a specific matter just once, but they may submit an extensive information that includes pictures on external files, which are checked by the system with regard to viruses. The forum has also a built-in mechanism for voting on a proposal and presenting the results. Let us take a look at an example. Vote on a location of a skateboard launched by the city of Manhattan Beach. Each of the registered and verified user may become familiar with the documents regarding to the planned investment. They may see opinions submitted by other users, not only their posts on fora, but also demographic data that shows their age, identify the part of the city they live in, see the summary of all submitted votes. They can also vote on a proposed locations and devices that should be installed and also post on a comment. When the vote has ended, the results and the decision taken by the authorities should be available in a special website. This, on the other hand, is a complex questionnaire on the forms of communication preferred by the residents. In this case, the initiators of the discussion expect users to provide descriptive answers, what the planned park is supposed to look like, and the number of responses is small compared to the previous example. Thus, it turns out that users are more active if there is an imposed scheme of opinion, just like in the case described above. Let us summarize the conclusion. Debate on local problems and submission of opinions involve participants to a greater extent when there is a defined scheme, even if it limits the form and allows a user to provide their opinion only once. Moreover, an important element that stimulates users' activity is an opportunity to take a part in a vote. This makes citizens aware that there is a specific goal of their activity, and voting results an opportunity to advocate their opinion. Of course, Open Town Hall is only one of many examples related to collective opinions on local affairs via the internet. Numerous other cases can be cited. For example, Activate Wichita, where users provide their views on local affairs via a series of questionnaires. Let us stay with applications that combine discussion and voting on a decision. Lumio is an interesting example of an application that facilitates arranging a local level debate within a group of citizens independently of public institutions. These applications may be used free of charge or for a small fee. The name Lumio is a word based on the English term loom, which in this case refers to a cloth-weaving workshop. As the authors see it, it's about weaving the social fabric by making decisions that take account of many voices in the debate and many viewpoints. According to the assumptions presented by the authors of Lumio, the decision-making is supposed to comprise 3 stages. 1. The debate that makes it possible to present various opinions and ideas for solutions to the identified problems. 2. Building agreement. Each participant in the debate may propose a solution which will be commented by others and will be subject to voting. 3. Collective decision-making. The application is made available online in the software service model, which allows both individual users as well as public and commercial institutions to create user accounts and communities. There is also an option to download the installation version of Lumio from GitHub and install it on one's own server. Therefore, the possibilities to use Lumio by grassroots civic local initiatives are wide. Lumio is an excellent tool for any grassroots groups that helps organize debate and make collective decisions. The application has also been used for local public consultations. For example, the Wellington City Council in New Zealand used it to consult the new government policy on alcohol. There are also numerous other tools for group discussions. One of the most interesting is Consider It, which makes it possible to illustrate participants' opinion and help user to become familiar with the best-rated opinions of other users, and then to publish the decision, to publish their opinion, and to make a decision that has been taken. The application is available on the software service basis, and the beta version can be used free of charge. Therefore, the entity may use it regardless of their activity and aim of the discussion. It is an example of an interesting solution that could be used by non-governmental organizations active in local communities. Budget Simulator is a very interesting tool that facilitates a local campaign to stimulate residents on public consultations with regard to budget of a commune, district, institution or an NGO. Budget Simulator is an application developed by the Delip company from the United Kingdom. This app enables citizens to actively participate in the allocation of a given governmental body's budget. The aim of the implementation is to bring citizens into the process of setting budget In this example, it's City Council of Derby. With the use of a virtual slider, visualizing the level of budget's expenditure in a given category, a citizen can change the amount of money to be spent on chosen public services. After every made change, the user is provided with a comment on the consequences of increasing or cutting a given expenditure. So far, the budget simulator has been used by over 80 government organizations on 3 continents: in Europe, North America and Australia. The Dalib company declares that it can be translated into any language and adjusted to the needs and the specifics of any local budget. Additionally, it is highly attractive in the terms of visual solutions that can be tailored to the needs of an interested public entity by full personalization. The application is user-friendly and can be used via computers, smartphones and tablets. Full access to the application advanced version costs about £5,000 British pounds. At the end of our lecture, we will look at the concept of open government and open data in the context of the activation of local communities. Open government is the concept that is supposed to change the relationships between the citizen and the public sphere. And also that includes a citizen as a member of local community. Open government is a proposal to have changes to the way the public institutions function, to be more transparent, and also this includes the improved access to public information and provision of various data held by public institutions. How can the open government policy be implemented in local communities? First, by authorities providing up-to-date and exhaustive information on their actions, for example through regular publication of recorded meetings. The website of the American city of Clive includes files with audio recordings of the Board of Adjustment meeting. Also in the case of Menlo Park in California, information policy at the city level means such things as publishing information on city council and committees, documents on the budget, and information on public procurement procedures. They are published on a dedicated page on the city website, along with historic data. Second, according to the Open Government Data Principle, unless it violates anyone's privacy, information collected by public authorities should be publicly available and accessible to anyone in a format that makes it possible to browse it freely and process it with external IT applications. That is to say, any person interested in such data should be allowed to use it. The examples include the American DataGov portal, which contains over 138,000 datasets that have been made available by the US public institutions. Pursuant to the President's Open Data Policy Executive Order, each federal agency in the US is obliged to publish the databases in this website. The local governments in the USA cannot be bound to make the same, but they are encouraged to do so. What is more, the DataGov portal provides a disk space for storing data from local authorities. There are over 10,000 databases from local governments there up to now. And the question is, what can open data be used for and how can it stimulate the activity of local communities? First, it improves transparency and overcomes barriers for a citizen who wants to access public data. It increases citizens' confidence in authorities, making it possible to track their actions, and statistical data related to one's immediate surroundings. Easy access to data boosts the sense of responsibility in people who collect and publish it. Citizens who are members of local communities can supervise actions taken by the authorities, comment on it, and see possible shortcomings. Due to broad access to data, they can participate in the public debate to a greater extent and provide more relevant content, detect promising or worrying phenomena, and propose related actions. There is also another way to use the data, which may also stimulate the community. The data may be used in the development of online or mobile applications that may make the life of local community easier. Due to the fact that public data is used free of charge, there may be numerous competing applications. So it contributes to the improvement of the quality. And example application, Bank Local Info, facilitates identification of financial institutions, so the banks, that invest in the selected city or region. It is supposed to help the user to deposit their money in a bank that invests in the region that user lives in. Another interesting example is the website Open City Apps. This is a grassroots initiative by the programmers from Chicago City, and they use the website to present their applications that use open data from their city. There are many inspiring examples of applications developed by these people, and we can take a look at some of them. One is the facilitate recycling, so it's my building doesn't recycle. Another one, help design the future railway connections. Another one is to facilitate the access to city council documents. It's called Chicago Councilmatic. Then there is an application that presents citizens in a manner similar to SimCity 2000 game. So it's called Second City Zoning. The application that presents economic data, house business. The application that presents crime in Chicago. The applications that shows actions taken by local lobbyists. It's Chicago lobbyists. An interesting example of the application that presents visualizations of local budgets. It's called Look at Cook. Okay, so let's come to the conclusions of our lecture. Stimulation of local communities via the internet may take several forms. So first, official websites of local public institutions, which also involves inviting the community to take part in designing their new versions. Then social media integrated with official websites or local public institutions. Then additional applications integrated with official websites, such an advanced internet fora like Open City Hall, or some formulas to report issues like Citizen Request Tracker. Then we have examples of private, non-governmental initiatives aimed on solving local problems, like Fix My Street. Then we have examples of special web applications, which most often operate as dedicated websites or under a software as service formula, like Budget Simulator, so it's for consultation of local budget. First to See, it's for emergency alerts. Lumio or Consider It for debate aimed at decision making. and commonplace on spatial planning. And the last example, the last point is open data, which allows developers to create applications for stimulating activity of local communities. Thank you for the attention.